What's happening, Wargamers? Welcome to the After Action Report for the Winter Guard versus MODOK Criminal Syndicate. And, oh my goodness, I don't know what was going on there, man.
I'm thinking the tacos may have caused people to behave irrationally. So
Yes. Well, I think we got to get the elephant out of the room right there.
yeah,
Unfortunately, your dice were horribly inconsistent tonight.
yes,
You had a number of attacks that felt like they really should have done more.
I'm less upset about the attacks and more concerned about the defense. Rolling consistently 4 dice of defense into no defense was kind of
That is fair. That's very fair.
a little tilting, but fortunately it was funny rather than angering.
You did well not to be tilted in this particular instance. But yeah, your dice were weirdly, wildly inconsistent.
Well, sometimes I felt like I had godlike powers, and then sometimes I felt like I couldn't do anything. I was just like MODOK.
Well, I mean, the amount of damage I put into MODOK early on with Red Guardian was disturbing.
Yep.
I got Bullseye without even really thinking about it.
Yep, that was an accident, I feel.
That was purely accidental because I think my shield throw did 3 damage into him or something like that.
Yeah, I was
crazy.
I think I let Blob take a little bit of extra damage that I didn't need to because I was trying to think about keeping Juggernaut in a space where I could kind of control him, where I thought I could control him. As it turns out, no. And so Blob took 3 damage before he did anything else. It was oh, that's not ideal.
I also think Blob up against Juggernaut was probably the wrong matchup.
You're not wrong. I brought him over there literally because I placed Toad down. I'm like, oh, Toad can grab a thing and come back. And I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if I get my leapfrog into there?
Well, I mean, Juggernaut was my first character that I put down, and it's well, we'll see. I mean, you did a good number into Juggernaut. The fact that he's on his injured side,
yes.
I mean, that does say something.
Now, I will say that I actually didn't have a lot of good tools to deal with Juggernaut. I don't think Ulik would have performed significantly better. He may have survived a little longer, but I totally thought Blob was going to survive longer.
Well,
so.
I mean, in all fairness, Juggernaut whiffed a lot of his attacks.
He did. Actually, Juggernaut and Ursa Major kind of underperformed in general, but
so did Ulik, so did Blob, so did MODOK.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Early on, when Ulik came over here to play with Crimson Dynamo, I felt that you should have been able to get that 3 damage no problem.
Yeah, I definitely thought I was going to pick him up, and yeah.
And then over here, the fact that Red Guardian just refused to go down. On top of that,
in addition to Red Guardian not dropping, I was also really impressed with the fact that he knocked my guys around. He definitely iced.
That Siberian Shield Slam, man.
Yeah.
size 3 throw that happens. That just happens. It's not even a trigger or anything like that.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Very effective. And Crimson Dynamo did Crimson Dynamo things. I think he was an example of just, I don't need to be involved in too much stuff. I'm still going to dominate where I need to.
His reroll kept him alive.
Yep.
For a good chunk of things, because I think I shut down close to 5 or 6 damage.
Yep. Well, and then
off of MODOK.
He finished off both Blob and Toad, right? So.
No, it wasn't him that finished off Blob and Toad.
I thought his beam. His beam flipped both of them.
Was it that flip both of them?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because then it was Juggernaut that walked up and threw Blob into Toad. And
yes, and finished.
Hold
the
up
job.
a second. Am I allowed to throw Blob? Oh, it's push. I can't push Blob.
And it's only from attacks.
Yeah, I can throw Blob. I can't push Blob.
Yeah, no. Blob's thing very specifically though reads. This character cannot be pushed or thrown as a result of special attack special rules. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So my actual superpower.
Yes.
Okay.
He
good.
can be thrown as normal. He can be pushed as normal.
Oh, okay. Good. I would have felt really bad if I inadvertently cheated there on that one.
No. I was being very hawkish about it, being like, oh no, you can't do. Yeah, no, you can totally do that though.
Yeah, I was hoping to see more thunder splashes from Blob.
Yeah, and as you said, he's not really a great matchup for Juggernaut, and he would have been way better over here with Red Guardian and the Bear.
If you put him up against Ursa Major and Red Guardian, I think Blob would have done a little bit more.
Yeah.
MODOK could have played around with Juggernaut a little bit better, I think.
Yeah.
Toad did surprisingly decent into Juggernaut.
Well, I love the fact that once he gets to that minimum amount of power to spit acid, I feel like Juggernaut has less of a thing. Realizing that I'm playing against Winter Guard, I was totally prepared for you can't push me off of objectives easily, but was not super ready for Oh no, yeah, I'm just
removing
getting
the
rid of
special
one.
condition.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
it's a very strong leadership for the Winter Guard because it kept the conditions off me all
yeah,
game, right? Which was an important thing. And like Juggernaut just being immune to stun, so like the witness never really hurting him in that regard.
yeah. But I will definitely say that the dice were not my ally in this for the specific thing with New Doc's leadership, rolling the wild when you're attacking someone who's either defending or sorry, contesting or securing an objective.
There were so many times when you didn't see that wild hit.
Yeah,
And
or if I did see it, it was against Crimson Dynamo when he wasn't on an objective. So
now, granted, you get to modify before I did,
yeah,
but yeah, Crimson Dynamo wasn't on an objective, which was kind of key to this one, right?
Yeah.
It's actually kind of weird because a lot of my characters, like Red Guardian, was never really holding one. I don't think. Yeah, I think he was briefly.
He was on the middle witness, I think.
Yeah, like briefly he was on there, but it was mostly like Ursa Major and Juggernaut holding my disturbances.
Yep.
Crimson Dynamo had one briefly on that. But yeah, like it was.
Oh, and when he held it, I smacked him and he dropped it. So
yes. So. And then that's the thing. Like this game really came down to there was a handful of dice rolls where if they had just gone slightly more to the curve, right, it would have been a very different game. Like I want to point out, you brought all of my team onto injured as well.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And
your team wasn't a bunch of slouches either, right?
Like, no, they're beefy boys. And Red Guardian, you almost took down. Like Red Guardian has no business staying up right now. Like he should have been taken down, right? Yeah. There's no reason. Ulik should have been able to KO him and pretty much hold that over there. It would have forced another round.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
I don't know if that other round would have done a whole lot. I mean, you scored up to 12. You would have, I don't know what would have really happened there, but I would have scored what?
You'd be to 15, I think.
I would. Oh no, maybe I'd still be at 16. I don't know.
Yeah.
But either way, like it might have been a bit of a different story, especially if Ulik had been able to then go, well, okay, I've dummied one guy with a terrain and I've dummied the other guy with an attack. Well, now I'm going to walk over here and pick up an objective.
Yeah.
Right. And now all of a sudden you're getting a disturbance. You're getting I guess you already had a disturbance, but.
Yep. I was definitely thinking of I can throw this little yellow thing at someone. I can punch twice. There's a good chance I can do enough damage to get there, but not from a Jedi.
And I think that's what it kind of comes down to. Ulik unfortunately was kind of a weak cog in this particular game for you. He never really showed up to punch things, and honestly, in all the games I've played where Ulik has been on the table, I think this is the first one where he's really just kind of.
He's been very flat.
Yeah, he just kind of pillow fisted his way through here, and because I mean, if he had been able to take on Crimson Dynamo early on, that would have gotten rid of an activation for me.
Well, and I will actually say that I think these crises may not have been the ideal one for him because there's 4 that you pick up. He can only hold 1. He's not really spending a lot of time. He can move around. He can get to different places, but people didn't need to go to any new places. We were kind of just fighting between these two. The two.
Yeah, it was a very centralized fight.
Yeah,
very centralized fight in this case.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that he was ideal for this one. So
I don't think he was a bad choice for it. Like if his dice showed up a little bit more, like you were throwing 6 dice attacks, and frankly, you should have been doing more damage with him than he did. Right?
I kind of feel like he did the same amount of damage as Blob, but he was 2 more threat. So
yeah, and that's kind of unfortunate right there. If Blob had a chance to get a good Thunder Splash in there, just like the explosive splash damage that you can do on top of that. Yeah, like there's a couple little things that I think this game really kind of came down to.
But I will definitely put a lot of that on. Blob and Toad probably shouldn't have been tangoing with Juggernaut.
Yeah, like it might have almost been worth it to basically just say, well, okay, forget about that piece over here, just pivot and go right to the center.
Well, and I could have just moved Blob up, hop, get back, and get out of there. Or move Blob up, have Juggernaut try to hit him while he's in cover, and then get away.
Yeah.
But I chose to show down over there. So.
Yeah. And I mean, again, the dice were definitely in my favor. Like Red Guardian rolled defensively like a fiend.
Yep.
Today, I got a couple of good spike attacks in there.
Yeah.
Again with I think Red Guardian was my MVP this game.
I think so.
As odd as that is, I wouldn't have expected that. But yeah, no, he performed really well. Well, I think that's pretty much all we have to say about that game there.
There's one more thing to say about this game. I love this mat. This is beautiful.
Yeah, no, it's a great mat. I'm looking forward to getting the rest of the iWar game mats on here. They are kind enough to be sponsoring the channel at this point. So you're going to see a bunch of those mats hitting in the near future, because
Awesome.
I think we have all of Series 2, and I think we have 2 of Series 1 or something like that. So we got 6 of them kicking around.
Yep.
Yeah, great mats. Definitely going to be putting together a nice little review video on those ones as well, because I'm a big fan of them. But
yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the game. It was Mr. Toad's wild ride all the way through.
Yeah, that was a great game. I had fun.
Yeah, fun on a bun, definitely. And we will see you guys next time. Remember, if you want to support the channel, patreon.com/AegisBrain Studios. We'll see you next time. Happy wargaming.